What if I told you that the reason you're stuck is not because you're lazy, it's because you've been trained to obey your urges, trained to choose comfort, trained to avoid pain. And what if the path to power, peace, and purpose is something no one taught you to value? Not talent, not luck, not motivation, but something far more simple and far more rare. Discipline. Not the kind that screams, but the kind that whispers, the kind that shows up quietly every day and builds a life worth living. Most people want change, but they don't want discomfort. They want success, but not the sacrifice. They want results, but not the routine. That's why most people are stuck, but not you. Not today. Today, we walk the harder path, the wiser path, the path of the Stoics, of stillness, strength, and self-mastery. These are 5 powerful and surprisingly simple ways to build unshakable self-discipline. They don't require willpower. They don't demand perfection. They just require the truth and the courage to face it. Let's begin. 1. Do the hard thing first. The Stoic secret to mental strength. Your alarm goes off, and in that tiny moment, a battle begins. One voice says, "Stay, rest. It's cold, you're tired." The other says, "Get up, show up, do the hard thing first." Which one wins? Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome and master of the Stoic mind, wrote in his journal, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I was made to do this work as a human being, not to scroll, not to snooze, not to delay, but to live with purpose." Self-discipline begins in the first decision of the day, not because it's big, but because it's yours. When you choose discomfort over ease, when you choose progress over perfection, when you choose to begin, even when it's hard, you become powerful. And here's the deeper truth. Discipline isn't about force. It's about freedom. The freedom to live your day without being dragged around by emotion. Write this down each night. What is the one thing I keep avoiding? That thing? That's your starting point tomorrow. No negotiations, no excuses, just action. Every time you choose the hard thing first, you silence the noise of fear. And in that silence, you find strength. Because as the old proverb says, a warrior of the mind wins before the battle begins. 2. Build invisible routines. Discipline without drama. Most people try to force discipline like it's a fight. But the Stoics taught something different. True strength doesn't shout, it doesn't flex, it flows. Epictetus, the great Stoic teacher, said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life, and the way to freedom is through self-mastery." And self-mastery isn't built in big moments. It's built in small ones, hidden in plain sight. Want discipline? Stop chasing motivation. Start creating systems, routines that feel so natural you don't even think about them. Like brushing your teeth, you just do it. So here's your blueprint. Pick one small habit, something that makes your life better, then attach it to something you already do. After your morning water, write for 5 minutes. After brushing your teeth, stretch for 2 minutes. After lunch, read 1 page of a wise book. This is the art of invisible discipline. It feels small, but over time, it rewires your identity. You stop trying to become disciplined, and you start being disciplined. No stress, no pressure, no drama, just quiet, steady growth. Remember the Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, plant a seed today and water it with action every day. 3. Embrace boredom, your gateway to power. Boredom. That quiet emptiness you run from. That moment when there's no distraction, no buzz, no dopamine. You hate it, don't you? But what if I told you, boredom is your greatest teacher? In a world addicted to noise, the ability to sit with silence, to stay with repetition, to focus when there's nothing exciting, is a superpower. The Stoics knew this. They believed that greatness doesn't come from excitement. It comes from endurance. Epictetus didn't teach people how to feel better. He taught them how to be stronger. And being strong means doing what matters, even when it's boring. Because anything worth building, muscle, mastery, meaning, requires repetition. And repetition is boring. But only on the surface. Stay with it long enough, and something shifts. You stop chasing the next shiny thing and start building something real. Set a timer. 10 minutes. One task. No distractions. Train your mind like a muscle. Not to escape boredom, but to master it. Because on the other side of boredom is greatness. The Japanese say, fall 7 times, stand up 8. But what they don't tell you is this. Most of those falls are into boredom. And most people never get back up. But you're not most people. 4. Delay pleasure. Rewire your brain for self-control. Every time you give in to instant pleasure, you give away a piece of your power. You trade peace for sugar. You trade focus for a like. You trade freedom for 5 seconds of escape. But here's what the Stoics knew. Pleasure isn't the enemy, but your addiction to it is. Epictetus warned, "It is better to die of hunger, having lived without grief and fear, than to live with a troubled soul." Why? Because pleasure without control leads to slavery. Slavery to your urges, slavery to your cravings, slavery to anything that promises a quick fix. But you can break free, and it starts with one decision: to delay. Wait 10 minutes before eating. Wait until the work is done before the reward. Wait until you've earned it. You don't deny pleasure. You own it. You choose when and how it enters your life. And in that moment of pause, you become strong. You teach your brain that you are not a puppet. You are the master. A Persian proverb says, "The more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in war." This is your practice. This is your training. Small delays. Every day, rewiring your mind for self-control and reclaiming your life. 5. Keep your promises, even when no one sees. Do you want to know the quickest way to build real confidence? Keep the promises you make to yourself. Not just the big ones, especially the small ones. Because every time you say you'll do something, and then you actually do it, you prove to yourself that your word has power. And when your word has power, your life begins to change. Most people lie to themselves daily. I'll start tomorrow. I'll just skip one day. I'll try harder next time. And every lie weakens the soul. But you can become different. Start simple. I will walk for 10 minutes. I will not complain today. I will write one sentence. Then do it. No excuses. No applause. Just quiet, invisible victory. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. And that begins here, with small promises, kept in the dark, that light up your entire life. There's a powerful African proverb that says, "When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you." You want to silence the enemy within? Keep your word. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because every time you do, you rise. You made it to the end. But this is not the end. This is your beginning. Discipline is not a punishment. It is your path to peace. It is the quiet fire that forges kings, queens, warriors, leaders, ordinary people into extraordinary souls. So remember, do the hard thing first. Build invisible routines. Embrace boredom. Delay pleasure. And keep your promises. Not just for results, but for the person you become. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement. So take one small step today, and then another tomorrow, and another the day after that. And if this message touched something deep inside you, don't let it fade. Don't let it be just another video. Let it be the spark that wakes you up. The echo in your soul that says, it's time. And if you want more wisdom, more fire, more truth that shakes you awake and builds you up, then subscribe. Because this is not entertainment. This is your transformation. And we're just getting started.